We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone, and you are tuned in to another edition of Mike Ryder Talks. I don't have a guest in here with me tonight. It's just me and you in a safe place to speak. We got some things to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about. I got some things I want to get off my chest, some things that are very important to me, some things we've been going through as a nation, as a family, for the last few years. Not even a few, for some years now. We need to address it. As y'all just saw in the intro, courtesy of the Washington Post, Derek Chauvin, the man who murdered George Floyd, was found guilty. He was found guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Let that sink in. Second-degree murder, third-degree murder, second-degree manslaughter. Let me get back on here. Now, this is a man who kneeled on the neck of George Floyd for 8 minutes, for over 8 minutes. It was recorded on cell phones. You got the body cam footage or whatever. They've been going to trial for almost a month now. This is a guy who was seen on multiple cameras who wanted to plead not guilty. Wanted to plead not guilty, but you were seen on multiple cameras. You a scumbag. You also was trying to get them to do a mistrial. You a scumbag. Got no use for you. Got no use for anyone like that. You're supposed to be protecting people, but you're kneeling down on the neck of a man who bought cigarettes with a counterfeit $20 bill. Now, let me say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this once. Matter of fact, I'm going to say it more than once. I'm going to say it a few times throughout the show. Enough is enough. You saw the title of the show. Finally, they got him. But enough is enough. I've had enough. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this has had enough. I'm pretty sure the families of these slain victims, and I said victim, yes, they've had enough. Enough is enough. I'm sick of it, man. I'm tired of it. I turn on my TV. I get on Facebook, get on YouTube. Another black man killed by police. Another unarmed black man killed by police. Another unarmed black man harassed, tased, jumped on, beat up, ganged up on by police. Enough is enough. I'm tired of seeing it. And finally, after all these years, we get some form of justice being served. I'm going to say it again. He faced these charges. He's been found guilty of these charges. Second-degree murder, guilty. Third-degree murder, guilty. Second-degree manslaughter, guilty, guilty, guilty. Get him out of here. Matter of fact, if you want me to be honest with y'all, and I try to be an honest man, you want me to be honest with y'all, we shouldn't even went this far into a trial. I'm just going to be real with y'all. It shouldn't have went this far into a trial. I'm going to tell you why. The court system in America is screwed all the way up. The way that they do things, not right. They want you to present proof. You got to get tried by a jury of your peers. You got a judge up here. A lot of times they're biased. Man, you get so many court cases that are not right because of those three things: biasness, proof, jury of the peers. They can be swayed. The jury can be swayed. The judge can be swayed for a number of things. The court system is not right. I've always said this for years. I feel like if they went off of real life, things that happen in real life, the court system would be different. These trials would be different. These cases would be different. They'll be handled different. They show biasness in there. The system is not made for people who look like me. I go in there and I stand in front of a judge, it's probably not going to look good for me. The guy in front of me, if he pisses the judge off before I go in front of the judge, it's probably not going to look good for me. They don't do things right. However, this time, they slightly got it right. And I say slightly because it shouldn't have went this far. I know because of our court system, because of our government system, he has to be tried and he has to get a fair trial. You got all these cameras up here recording and catching this man doing this. He's in the act of kneeling down on someone's neck for over 8 minutes. He murdered that man. A man who's not fighting him. How can he fight? How can he fight? You have 4 officers on this man. 1 officer is the lookout. The other 3 officers, man, I ain't got to get into it. You know the story. You know the story. If you're watching the trial like I watched the trial, or you're living in America just like I am, you ain't got to be in America. You can be overseas somewhere. You know what happened. You probably saw it from one of the cell phone footages. Probably all of them combined, because they did combine all of them. You saw it just as well as I saw it. They didn't treat that man good, just like they did a number of us. It's been a lot of us. I'm going to show anybody who's tuning in to my show, this is your first time watching, if you're catching this live, you can do what this lady Rhonda is doing. You see how I just put her comment on the screen? You can interact with me. I will interact with you. If you comment in the chat, you have a question or a valid statement, I will put you on the screen. We can interact with each other. She said, enough is enough. Now it's time for reform. Then she also said it's not right. I'm guessing she's talking about the court system, how they handle trials and cases, which I was talking about a few minutes ago. Said it should not have gone this far. You see how I just put her on the screen? If you got any comments, put them in the chat. Any questions, any statements you want to make on this topic, put it in the chat. We can have a conversation about it. I want to give y'all a little history real quick. Let me make this big. Y'all know who that is? Y'all know who that is? You know what? Let me get me off the screen. I'm gonna get on that shine. It's Dante Wright. Dante Wright, 20 years old, killed April the 11th in Minnesota. Pulled over because of air fresheners. Air fresheners, man. They found that he had warrants. This man tried to get back in his car and was shot. He wasn't trying to hurt nobody, didn't have a gun, didn't have a weapon. He simply was trying to get back in his car. I'm pretty sure he feared for his life. He probably was going to try to make a run for it. That don't matter. We don't know what happened because it didn't happen. He tried to get back in his car for whatever reason, and they shot him. Unarmed. Not a threat to anybody. He had warrants, but he wasn't a threat to anyone. You know who that is? It's Kurt Reinhold, 42 years old, shot to death in Orange County by the police, accusing him of jaywalking. He was homeless. Jaywalking, homeless. He might have argued with the police, might have had some things to say to him. He wasn't attacking them. He didn't threaten to kill him. Guess what? Killed because of jaywalking. Enough is enough. I told y'all we're going to get back to that to that title, you know what I'm saying? That topic, that theme for the night. I'm gonna ask y'all this. Y'all know who that is? That's Patrick Warren Sr. He was killed on January the 10th. His family called for a mental health caseworker to come check on him because he had been showing signs of mental instability. He had been acting irrational. So no mental health worker could come check on him. They sent the police. The police came. He got into an argument with the police. They tased that man and then shot him. Pointed the gun at his wife, pointed the gun back at him and shot him again. Shot this man in front of his wife. Mental instability. He's not fighting. He probably argued with y'all, but he ain't jumping on y'all. He argued. He has mental issues. What do you expect? You know what the call is before you go out there. Matter of fact, y'all shouldn't be going out there anyway. We need somebody who works in the mental field to go out there and speak with him, the mental health field, not a police officer. He's not breaking the law. He's not committing a crime. He's just acting irrational. I'm going to throw one more out there. Y'all know who that is? Y'all know who that is right here? There's Oscar Grant. If you watch the movie Fruitvale Station with Michael B. Jordan, that's one of my favorite movies. If you ever watch that movie, that is about him. Oscar Grant, 22 years old, killed on January the 1st, New Year's Day, 2009. He was in a fight on the BART train system. The train got stopped. The BART officers came, pulled him and a whole bunch of dudes who they suspected to be a part of the fight off the train. They didn't even get confirmation from anyone on the train that it was these guys. They just pulled them off because they looked like they had been into a fight. Put him and his group of guys up against the wall, slammed him on the ground. One of the officers had his knee on him in his back with his face in the ground. Another officer shot him. That sound familiar? I know that sound familiar. That sound just like my man George Floyd. Officer has his knee on him. He can't do anything. No gun, no knife, no weapon. Y'all had this man on the ground, yet and still you shoot him. And then you say you thought it was your taser. I don't know if I said this about Dante Wright. The officer who killed him thought their gun was a taser. We're getting too much of that too. They're thinking it's the taser. They think that their gun is a taser. We need to get away. We got to find a way to not let that slide. They need to get away with that. At this point, it's just an excuse. They done got me worked up. Now, I ain't even gonna lie to you. They done got me worked up. Let me get me back on here. Enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. We done seen it throughout the years, all these years. Cell phone footage, body cam footage, no footage. Police officer kills unarmed black man. Why? Why? You fear for your life? Is that what it is? You thought we had a gun? You thought your taser was a gun? All these excuses, you're pulling us over for air fresheners. We're bigger than you. We're faster than you. We're smarter than you. What is the reason? I look at this man right here. I don't see a threat. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm behind a badge, I don't see a threat. I don't see a man who I need to be afraid of. It just is what it is. Rhonda hit the nail on the head. It's just an excuse. How can you mistake a taser for a gun? Now, the taser is in the shape of a gun. However, that taser don't operate like a gun. A gun, you have to cock back and put one in a chamber. Taser, if I'm not mistaken, you don't have to do that. So I don't know if these dudes are already having their guns cocked back or if they're cocking back on them. But You should not mistake your gun for a taser. That is an excuse, a lazy excuse. Shout out to Eli too. He said it's the whole system. It's all based on white supremacy. Yeah. I don't know when you came in, but about 10 minutes ago, that's what I was going over. The system just corrupt. The whole system corrupt. How they handle cases, the presenting proof and evidence to the jury, in the courtroom. All that stuff is just wrong. All that stuff is just wrong, man. But then today we hit a milestone. Today we hit a milestone. My man, Derek Chauvin, has been found guilty on 2nd-degree murder, 3rd-degree murder, 2nd-degree manslaughter. It's been a long time coming. And it ain't over yet because he has not got his complete sentencing yet. We haven't found out how many years he's going to do. But he's been found guilty on all 3 of his charges. And I shout out to the jury. I shout out the jury. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all did y'all thing then. Because for a second, I thought he was going to get off clean. I really did. I know we got all this footage. We got all this evidence against him. But I done seen it time and time again where they're just getting slaps on the wrist. I done seen it time and time again where you got all this evidence and they're getting 2 years. They get 2 years off, paid vacation. Then they come back to work. She said, Black lives really do matter, as it should. All lives should matter. However, for whatever reason, Black lives don't matter to some white people. Black lives, for whatever reason, don't matter to some of these white people. You got some of these white officers, man. Let me take a breath. I'm about to get worked up, man, because I'm like, dude, this is unnecessary. Let me put George back on the screen. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Rest in peace to Dante Wright. Rest in peace to Kurt, Patrick, Oscar. Rest in peace to all you brothers and anybody who has been wrongfully murdered at the hands of police officers who's supposed to be protecting and serving. Let me get back to the chat again. My man Eli says police came from slavery, the slave patrols, and the slave catchers. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And you know what? All these years later, ain't nothing changed. All these years later, ain't nothing changed. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I found this out probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. What they have to go through to be a police officer is nothing rigorous. They don't run them through the ringer. We're gonna make sure you're physically fit. We're gonna put you through PT. You know what I'm saying? PT is the main thing. Anybody who goes to be like a CO, police officer in the army, the main thing you hear them talk about is PT. I gotta make sure I'm straight for PT. Pretty much once you get through with the PT, you're good. So they passed the physical test. What about putting some on them for the mental? What about checking their mental stability? Because some of these officers are thrown off. You can look at them and tell they're thrown off. You can look at them and tell they're thrown off. That's just me being real. I'm not a nasty guy. I try not to be hateful or whatever, but you can look at them and tell that they're thrown off. It's sad what we have to go through as citizens that are supposed to be protected by these officers, but they pull up and they do us no justice. They pull up and they're racist. They pull up and they're murderers. You know what I'm saying? They're killing you in front of your family. They're killing you in front of your friends. A group of people stand around and it seems like it just builds up the rage more and more inside of them. Why? Because they have a crowd? Why? I can't understand that for the life of me. I really can't. Like, if you want me to be honest, a lot of these officers that I see, even here in Macon, Georgia, man, they shouldn't be on the force. They need to go through some type of mental training that is going to get them right. They need to have the mental capacity to say, okay, this is the situation. I need to assess this situation. A guy with air fresheners like Dante Wright should not be pulled over like that. Y'all didn't pull him over for the wrong warrants. Y'all pulled him over for the air fresheners. Air fresheners. Like I told my friend before I got on here with y'all, these air fresheners have been around and in these cars since before I was born. Everyone on the street should be getting pulled over for these air fresheners. I got them in my car. I got them in my work truck. I should be pulled over right now because of air fresheners. I've been on the street all day. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. They're targeting us for whatever reason. I'm going to say it again. It doesn't make sense. Enough is enough. I'm glad they got that scumbag off the street, though. Glad they got him off the street. Glad they about to face sentencing. We're going to see what the sentencing is because, these are 3 different charges. 3, manslaughter is very different from murder. In both acts, you're taking the life of someone, but they carry different time. And then you get the degrees. You got 2nd degree murder, 3rd degree murder, 2nd degree manslaughter, 1st degree, 3rd degree, whatever it goes up to. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see. Hopefully he gets the proper sentencing because it's not over yet. Like I said, this is just a milestone. We finally got some type of justice. We finally got some type of justice. Some type of justice was served. And I'm proud of that. You know what I'm saying? That made me happy. And I'm going to tell y'all how I stumbled upon it. I don't know about y'all. I'm going to be real with y'all. I haven't been keeping up with this case the way that some people have and the way that I should. Because I'm trying to be some form of journalism. And I just didn't. I didn't watch it because it was like, I know what's going to happen. I know they're about to let this man off. They're about to slap him on the wrist like they do the rest of them, give him a paid vacation. His family about to go to Disney World or Hawaii, and it's going to be over with. No, not this time. I was putting together the show for tonight. I had a guest, but my guest couldn't make it. And I was like, you know what? I want to talk about the senseless murders of these Black brothers. I didn't know that they were sentencing him or they were reading his verdict. I didn't know that was going on as I was putting it together. So I was like, you know what? Let me go through the list. I'm going to pick like 5 or 6 random guys who done been killed by the police. Just give a brief description of their story. And I hit Dante Wright first. I hit Kurt second, Patrick third, Oscar fourth. When I got to George Floyd, I typed it in on Google. I was like, let me make sure I get everything together. I know the story, but let me make sure I get any details that I might miss. As soon as I typed it in, a video popped up and it was like guilty. And I was like, hold on, what? Is this serious? And it said live, Washington Post, live, CNN, live, CBS, ABC. Everyone was live at the same time. Like, okay, it's going down. Watched it, guilty. I was like, okay, now listen, everything happens for a reason. And just for some reason, his verdict reading was happening as I was getting ready to piece together my show about us getting killed by cops. And I was like, you know what? This is what my show is going to be centered around. Let's go ahead and get it right. Got my video, got my photos, as you can see, and we're on it. Let me get back to the comments. He said, they're looking for an excuse to harass you if you're a Black person, especially if you're young. That's a fact. He said, yes, it feels good and different, but I was ready for the worst outcome. That's why I haven't watched it. Because I really was like, okay, they probably going to let this man off. At this point, it's a show. We live in the United States. Any and everything is a show right now. Someone's murder is a show. They made a show out of someone's murder. Your presidential candidates, they make a show out of them. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a show. So it's like, okay, I done seen this story before. I know what's gonna happen. He gonna get off. He gonna get off, but he didn't. Not yet. Like I said, it's a milestone. It's a milestone, and I'm very, very appreciative. Chat, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. I just wanted to get on here and touch bases with y'all to celebrate this milestone. Um, she said, I believe that everyone thought he would get off. Yeah. It's just the writing's on the wall. Like, dude, we done seen it so many times. It's a rerun at this point. It just has different characters that they focus on. It's a rerun. Every day is like a rerun. Such and such done got killed by the police. Okay, that police officer administrative leave. Such and such got killed by the police. Okay, she turned in her badge. They're gonna let her do such and such. Come on, man. Why? If I was the person killing someone, I would be killed on the spot, probably. They'd probably hang me in the middle of the street. I'm just being honest. I'm gonna ask y'all, man, do y'all have anything else y'all want to go over about this situation? Anything y'all want to add to it? He said, peace, cuz. What's up, cousin? He said, peace, cuz. Love the show. I got to get up with you when I finish this book on white supremacy. So you're writing a book on white supremacy. Okay, look, I might stick around a few more minutes. If you hear me reading right now, if you haven't gotten off, Eli, what brought about you writing this book? What is the reason why you wanted to write this book? Put it in the comments. You ain't got to give all of it away. Give me whatever details you can. What brought about you wanting to write this book? Because I don't know. He got me curious now. You know what I'm saying? Which it is an awesome book to write about. You know what I'm saying? There's something awesome to write about. So let me know in the comments, what is your reason for writing that book? Again, milestone, a cause for celebration. My man guilty on all 3 charges he was facing. That's fire. That's fire. She said the story needs to be told. Yep. It definitely needs to be told. If you're in here, you checking in, man, give me some likes, give me some hearts, give me some comments, man. Let me know you're out there. Share it with your people. I'm about to end it soon. I just want to see if my cousin is going to give me some kind of description on his reason for writing. And I think he did. I might have overlooked. He said, my life as a black man in America. Okay. Say no more. You know what I'm saying? She said, just checking in. What's up, Vonda? You work today? You need it. Look, Vonda, if you just not seeing this, you need to go back. Like, I covered some things. Yeah, we wrapping it up now, but go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning, Vonda. Anybody listening to this, if you're checking in late in the day, late in the show, go back to the beginning. We talked about some things. He said, yes, it's a basic book on all the codes of white supremacy. She said, okay, I will. And you know what, y'all? I ain't gonna hold y'all up any longer. I'm gonna go ahead and do it like I do it each and every week around here. Before I do that, though, got him. It's your boy Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone. You know how I do it every week, each and every week. You see the ticker at the bottom of your screen. Until we meet again, be blessed. I love y'all. I'm out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna run an outro on them real quick.
All right, please be seated. Members of the jury, I understand you have a verdict. Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court file number 27, CR 12646.
Look at him.
We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m.
Look at him.
Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Jury foreperson 019. Members of the jury, I'm now going to ask you individually if these are your true and correct verdicts. Please respond yes or no. Juror number 2, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 9, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Look how he
Juror
looking.
number 19, are
You
these
supposed to
your
be my
true and correct
boy.
verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 27, are these
Look
your
at
true and correct verdicts?
him. Like he knew who that was.
Juror number 44, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 52, are these
He
your
won't
true
stun
and
her.
correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 55,
Don't stun
are
him
these your
either.
true
At
and
this point, he
correct
just
verdicts?
like,
Yes.
ugh.
Juror number 79, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 85, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 89, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 91, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 92, are these your true and correct verdicts?
He like, I can't
Are these your
believe.
verdicts, so say you one, so say you all.
Yes.
Members of the jury, I find that the verdicts as read reflect the will of the jury and will be filed accordingly. I have to thank you on behalf of the people of the state of Minnesota for not only jury service, but heavy-duty jury service. What I'm going to ask
Heavy
you to do
duty.
now is to follow the deputy back into your usual room, and I will join you in a few minutes to answer questions and to advise you further. So, all rise for the jury.
All right, y'all. I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all next week.